relationships, but you're wrong. Listen, there's no magic bullet. I'm teaching life skills.
When you're sick, you need medicine. It don't always taste good, but it'll get you better. You need this medicine. It ain't gonna always taste good, but this is what you need. Men and women, bottom line, we need to have the conversation. Your partner wants to give up control, but only if you know how to drive. This is about being the best you could ever be, whoever you are. I don't care if you're a man, a woman, LGBTQ, space alien. I'll save anybody. I don't care. I'll teach a hedgehog how to have a threesome.
What do you mean by that?
Look, you don't have to listen to me, but you're wrong.
Listen, I know I'm great. And I know you're thinking, Dante, there's no way I could be like you. But you could be me, you know why?
Because you know who I was? Before I was me, I was you.
Man School 202.
Better hear what I've got to say because you won't get it again.
I'm not an alpha male. I'm not a beta male either. I'm just a better man. Put your happiness first, because if you don't, they won't. Testing. 1, 2, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. What up, y'all? GYBB, get your balls back. WWDD, what would Dante do? Sexual Revolution is being podcasted, and I am excited. What up? Let's get to it. If y'all can hear me, let me get a thumbs up in the chat. If y'all can hear me, let me get a thumbs up in the chat, please. If y'all can hear me good, please give me a thumbs up in the chat. Please give me a thumbs up in the chat. What's going on? What's up, my people? It's good to be back. Sorry, we got a little tied up with the debate. I was watching the debate, and we couldn't get the time in on Tuesday, but we're here. I'll probably do another live on Sunday because we missed, and I feel bad. I feel like I didn't give you all your money's worth. So there's that. Let's get the phone lines up. Of course, y'all know what it is. 929-269-4922. Let's get the banner. So it's up. The Cash App. Bam. Up in the corner. If y'all want to Cash App me, I'd appreciate it, man. Any support you can give me is doper than Dope Monkey got choked, you know. Y'all know what it is. Fuck me. One of them went down. Anyway, we're on the Man School Instagram. It's good to be back. Good to be seen. Good to be heard. All right, that's what I'm talking about. We getting into it on no time. I didn't even get set, and we already getting calls in. That's dope. Let's see. What up? Who am I speaking to? How can I help you? Hello? Hello? I don't know what happened. We must have lost them. Call back. Phone lines is open, y'all. You know what it is. 929-269-4922. Ready to get busy. I had a good week. Few things I'm thinking about is one of the things I think that y'all got to think about is what does happiness look like to you? I always use this analogy about Uber. That in order to get where you want to go, there's two things you need. One is to know what you want, and you need where you want to go, and you need what your current location is. But here's the thing: if you have aspirations and things you want to do with your life, you got to figure that out first, because how do you know where to put your energy and your time in if you don't know what it is you're trying to accomplish? Just doesn't make sense. And how often is it that we don't think that we have the ability to decide what makes us happy or what doesn't make us happy? And so we end up in a situation where we never even think about what it is we want to be happy, what it is we want to be, or what would make us happy, or what happiness looks like. And we'll get into relationships. We want to please. We want to make people around us happy. We want our friends to be comfortable. We want our family to be proud of us. But we very rarely ask, what do I want? What do I want to do? What do I want to do with my life? How do I see my happiness? And if you don't ask that question, trust me, you don't know what it is. It's something that has to be thought about. You have to consciously think about, okay, where am I at now? Where do I want to go? And am I willing to make the sacrifice to get there? And like I said 100 times, like you gotta be with somebody who has the same vision, or at least thinks that your vision is important enough to respect you for it. And I realize that that's not always the easiest thing, and it's not always the hottest girl. It's not always the girl that you're sleeping with. A lot of times it's not even the woman that you're married to. But I'm here to tell you, man, with the right work and the right sacrifice, you can have whatever your heart desires. You just got to be willing to make the sacrifice. And the only scary thing about that is that once you realize what it is you want, and you realize what sacrifice you have to make to get there, if you don't have it, it's your fault. Can't bitch about it. You can't tell everybody, oh, woe is me. I can't get what I want. There's too many obstacles. The question is, are you willing to make the sacrifice? I can't tell you how many countless consultations that I do every day where I tell guys, well, this is what you need to do. And they'll go, well, I'm not really that social a person, or I really don't like this, or, oh, I'm in a town where it's not really a lot of people. I can't lay the fiber. I mean, I've heard every excuse that you could possibly understand, and or that you could possibly think of, and all of it is bullshit. I'm not saying that sometimes things aren't harder. Things get harder. Things are more difficult to do depending on your geography, or where you're at, or what you're doing, or what you're accustomed to. But the point is, I think you have to first understand that you're going to suck. Always remember this. When you start out, you will suck. Nobody's great at everything. Nobody's great at everything. It takes time to get great. If y'all can hear me, please give me a thumbs up in the okay. We're good. All right. Let me just shout out to everybody that's tuning in early. Let's start from the top. Sandler Francois, Jabril Africa, Madara Uchiha, Xavier, Robert Spindletree, you played yourself, Owen, Jonathan Cleofat, whoa, there's Kev, Kenny B, Frosty 593, what up? Eager Escape, everybody in the building. See who else we got here. Justin 747, what's up? Persona, Logan Scott, Carl Voucher, what up? Everybody's in the building. And Stony BB, what's going on? Shout out to everybody coming in. Ziggy Bronco in the building. Brandon Top Notch Inc. Many Faces. That's what's up. But But I think the scariest thing about the greatest and the scariest thing that I ever learned in my life is, number one, that I could have and do anything I wanted to do within reason, and evil business was popping. But the scariest thing is that anything that I don't have is my fault. Anything I don't have is my fault. Means I didn't put the work in. I didn't put the practice in. I didn't put the dedication in. And until you do all of that, you can't bitch about how things ain't in your favor or things haven't turned out the best. You got to give it a full season. You can't just do it some of the time. You can't do it for a couple of weeks. You got to make it a regimen. You got to make it a lifestyle. And if you make it a lifestyle, you can have things that you never thought you were even capable of. I make no mistakes about it. I don't believe that there's no limitations. I think that's just ridiculous, because everything is limitations. But I guarantee that you haven't reached your limitations before you've gotten to the point where you stop, where it's all done, where you've gotten everything out of it already. That's just not true. It just hasn't happened. You haven't exhausted all opportunity, all energy yet. And when you do that, I guarantee you'll be way more successful than you ever thought you could. That's with women and business, and if you have art, whatever it is, it's all attainable. And I think if you really believe that, shout out to Eager Escape. You got to call in. I hope that's the one that called in before. And I missed the call. Let me see if we can get him in. First call of the day. Yo, what up?
Hey, Dante.
What's going on? Who am I speaking to?
Oh, this is Jonathan calling from Miami.
What up, Jonathan? Talk to me. You got to speak up, okay?
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I just want to say you're hitting home right now. The credibility is everything.
Yeah.
Is everything. I remember I called in a couple months ago.
Right.
I had a situation where I wasn't being credible.
Right.
And first thing you said, I was being sad on myself. And first thing you said was, "Hey, listen, I forgive you. You have to forgive yourself."
Yeah.
And I felt immediately, great. The second you said it, and I felt great. The exact second you said it, and you also say, "Hey, 5 bricks a day," which is such a great prescription.
Yeah.
And it teaches honesty. It's non-transactional, and doing it daily. I trying to get more sophisticated,
Right.
more sophisticated approach to it, and my whole behavior changes, and my confidence grow, and it's all. I just wanted to give you props on that.
Man, thank you.
So much,
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
One thing is, how difficult was it for you to do? I mean, and I guess when I'm asking, how difficult was it to follow the directions that I was giving you? Not in terms of how difficult what it was, but I mean the actual practicality. How difficult was it?
It wasn't difficult at all, because it comes from the answer. I was being honest.
Right.
That same night after the consultation, I went to 7-Eleven just to relay the 5 bricks.
Right.
On that same night, and I was the first few times it was rushed. I mean, it was rough a little bit.
Yeah.
But as soon I got the hang of it, and it's just like it's truly honest, and it really, really teaches honesty, because now you observe. I mean, I observe more.
Right.
And I see different details. Like girls with like small earrings, the little hoops, the big earrings,
Yeah.
and like different dresses and the patterns on the dresses. I observe all that.
Right. It gets easier. Here's a question: how afraid were you when you started, and what were you afraid of? If you can give me a short answer to that.
You, um, I think being vulnerable, or being like being is having that fear of like uh being rejected or being ridiculed,
Okay, so now
and
let me stop you there. You had a fear of being rejected, right? In the
yeah.
in this situation before you started, what did you think that was going to happen? Like, what worst case scenario? What did you think would happen? The thing that you were most afraid would happen.
Oh, probably the getting a drink thrown on my face or something on my face, and these never happen.
Okay, and
Those
right.
are my worst cases.
So the worst case scenario is you said something and somebody didn't respond, right?
Yes,
That is the absolute worst case. So you're worried about getting a drink thrown in your face, embarrassed, somebody cursing you out, all kinds of nonsense. But what I'm saying is, in the worst case scenario, you say something and somebody doesn't respond back. Now, if you think about the first time you and I had a consultation, I told you that I'm not asking you to get a response back, right?
absolutely.
I told you I just need you to drop the compliment and keep it moving. If they respond, thank you so much, you go, you're welcome, and you keep it moving. Because
Yes,
the reason why I start off that way, because what am I asking you to do? I'm asking you to just be honest and pay an honest question. Pay an honest compliment to somebody who you've observed and you believe so. So I'm not even asking you to get anything back. So I think the fear becomes so much bigger than what the task is. Am I right?
you're absolutely right. You're hitting home. You're absolutely right.
Real quick, let me
You're
get
also,
a shout out to Jonathan. Thank you, brother, for the cash app. Jonathan in the
you're,
building
yeah.
sent me a $20 cash app. Thank y'all, man. If y'all, the cash app is on the thing. If y'all can help me out, I'd appreciate it. That's how we keep doing this. But yeah, I mean,
There's,
I it's a situation where initially when I lay it out for you, it seems like something that's so insurmountable, but it's really not. It's really easy to do. You know, it's really easy
absolutely.
to do. And once you start doing it, it gets easier. And then what happens is, because you're just doing it, you're doing this little thing that seems it's such a small thing to do. I mean, you perceive it as a bigger thing, but it's such a small thing to do. And the responses you get from people teach you so much about women and interaction with women. And no matter how prettier they are or how unattractive or in every way, like, women respond in the same way to honesty as they would respond in any other situation. Um,
Ab- You're absolutely right.
we put women in a different category based on what we perceive is value. But that's just not. It's not the case. But man, thank you so much for calling and letting brothers
Thanks,
who
Dante.
are a little reluctant to call in and to get the consultations and to start on this program, man. But I mean, how are you doing since then?
Um, I'm doing good. I mean, so far, I have no complaint. There's times like right now doing service today. I'm going to the grocery store and people are just going out their way just to saying hi.
Yeah,
Like you're like, oh, I got my daughter. I want you to meet, like, you're such a cute guy
yeah,
and all that. And I want you to meet my daughter. And
yeah.
it's what I'm getting. And it's just like
Yeah,
I want to thank you.
if you consider you come off as a nice guy, you'll find somebody's mama will hook you up. Oh, I got a daughter.
Yeah,
You know?
yes, absolutely. That's what I'm asking right now. And I'm happy. I'm exploring my option, and I'm happy.
Yeah, but I appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling. Big
Thanks,
shouts to
Andre.
Carl Valson. Also sent me $20 on the Cash App. Thank you, brother. You're the best. And I'll holler at you, bro. Thanks for calling in. Phone lines are open. I got a question from the chat from Shinobi. Yo, let me put it up so y'all can see it on the screen. Here it is. Yo, Dante, quick question. Do you think that affection men are less masculine? I was with a chick and she was like, wow, you're pretty affectionate. I don't know what the rest of that is. But I want to just say this. The point is not that you're affectionate. You can be what you want to be. If you're with a woman who thinks you're too affectionate, then that's not the woman you should be. What you want to be is where you're comfortable. I'm an affectionate dude. I like hugging and cuddling and watching movies, and I'm a brute, but there's nothing nicer than having a woman next to you and rubbing your back or whatever, you just laying up on you. I mean, that's just a dope thing to have. And so I don't think that is less masculine. I think you have to be masculine when it's time to be masculine. And that means you got to be about your business. You got to be about your boundaries. You got to be about the truth. I think that's what makes you masculine. The fact that you moony, tootsie, goofy, kissy, hair, holding hands, hugging. I've never, look, I've actually, I shouldn't say I've never, but I've been around women who are just not affectionate. And that's usually because they were raised without affection and it's uncomfortable. But when they like you and they're attracted to you, it's almost like anything goes. So I don't think it's, so I just want to say, I don't think it's unmasculine, and it doesn't even matter. The point is that if you listen to the question you're asking, everything goes back to the original principles is what, never let a woman define you, because if you do, it won't be long until you ain't shit. She likes you when you're doing what she wants. The minute you're not doing what she wants, then all of a sudden you're a piece of shit, or you're selfish, or you're narcissistic, and I'm not saying that those things are not possible. You could be those things, but I think retrospectively, you have to put yourself under the microscope first before somebody else does. It just doesn't make sense. Did I call Valson? Thanks for the $20, bro. Cash App's up. Let me put the number up real quick, fast, in a hurry. Phone lines are wide open. Number's 929-269-4922. Call in, ask me whatever you want to ask me. Me a shout out. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I was just consoling with one of the listeners, one of y'all with the rest of the Square Pimp Brigade. And just so you know, 28-year-old dude, virgin. We walked him into getting laid last week. Now he's laying up with this chick for 3 days for somebody. 28 years, never, may have, I don't know if he ever, if he never had sex or he may be paid for it or whatever. I'm not sure, but I will say this. This is the first time he met a girl, talked to her, took her out, took her home, and he smashed, and they're dating now. So I'm not going to say his name because I know he doesn't want y'all to know he was a 28-year-old virgin, which, I just think it's dope that somebody is on the listening to this stuff, and I'm able to help him and navigate him to a point where, he's getting the attention that he deserves. Anybody who listens knows that I did the same thing for Pete Davidson when he was 17. So we get hearing success stories on all levels all the time. So that's just dope. Let me see what we got here. Let me get this.
Erickson.
What's up, man? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Dante. My name's Samuel Erickson. I'm calling from Madison, Wisconsin.
What's Sammy, you said?
Yeah, Samuel. I go by Sam, though.
What's up, Sam? What's going on? How can I help you, brother?
Hey, man. I've been a big fan of your show. I first saw you on Black Phillip, so...
Many, are you that old? Many moons ago, or this was just...
No, I'm a young dude. I'm 23, but
okay.
I was a big fan of Patrice. I watch a lot of his stuff.
Yeah,
And
I was
I've been following you.
talking to somebody today, man. I miss that dude every day. I wish, a lot of times I wish that we could share this platform together and I'd love to hear it, some of the stuff, like right now I just feel that I'm bouncing. I got to bounce my ideas off the wall to see if I'm on track, but it's fine, man. I miss him. I love him. But man, how can I help you, brother?
Hey, so I've got a question about how you start to escalate with a girl physically, because I oftentimes I find myself I can have a good conversation with a girl. We're going back and forth. She's invested verbally into me. I can tell she's kind of into me, but I just get a little frozen up trying to break that touch barrier, starting to like hold her hand or kiss her or something like that. Do you have any like tips to approach that type of thing?
So understand something. Let's let's see how I can put it. Let's say you went out, hypothetically, you go out on a date, right? And this girl's very well dressed and very prissy and proper, and all of a sudden, she gets in your car, right? As she gets in your car, she grabs your dick and she fucking sucks your whole face, and she's jobbing it. Even you, as a guy who probably would be able to weather the storm, you would be taken aback from that, right?
Yeah, that'd be shocked.
So what I'm saying is, even if this is what you ultimately want, right? Even you have a limit in terms of how you want to ease into it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Now this is where the empathy part of ACE comes in. Understand something, and I've said this 100 times, and I'm probably going to say it 100 times more. Every girl that goes out with a dude has to figure out whether or not this guy is going to unlive her or grape her. Like that is a conversation that she has to have in the back of her head, right? Is this guy safe, right? Then once the guy's safe, is he creepy? Are we compatible? And then it goes to, well, maybe we're not compatible, or I'm not sure about this guy, or I'm unsure. So this is why honesty and congruency. Congruency, when I say congruency, I mean that your actions and your everything needs to be in sync, right? It's sort of like if a guy gets pulled over by the cops, right? And he's nervous and he's sweating. There is that behavior is, police officers, which are full of shit anyway, but that's neither here nor there. They would take that as, okay, this guy's nervous and what is he trying to hide? And it leads to these other things. And so you have to have congruency in body language and in speech, in the cadence of your voice. All of those things are very important, which is all the things that I teach on the advanced levels of laying the 5 bricks. I guess
my main thing is I know what you're talking about, because I used to be more like I used to be in a woman hating mode, as they say, like a few years ago, but I've kind of got out that by being more empathetic and listening to the girl's perspective.
Here's a question. Why did you get into that? Was it the fact that you didn't have the ability and you just were resentful because you didn't know how to approach it?
Yeah, looking back on it, it's like hating from outside of the club. I didn't know how to get in there, what to say. But now I've got like a lot more women friends and things like that in my life, and I've got their perspective, like you said. So I totally understand what you say with, they basically got to vet you, make sure you're not going to beat them over their head and take advantage of them by your physical strength.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, how do you, like, once you're in there and you can tell you're kind of having a good vibe, a good connection, like going for a kiss, like maybe bring it up. Do you bring it up verbally, like, I just want to kiss you right now, or going direct or something like that?
Here's the thing. Just think, like, women are like a crock pot. I don't know if you ever cooked in a crock pot. You put all the stuff in, right?
Oh, all the time growing up.
It's very low heat, right? And it just warms up and warms up. And then every once in a while, you'll see that little bubble, bloop, 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 bloop. So you got to understand that's how women, they heat up. It's a gradual intensification. And so your activity has to match that. You know what I mean? You want to push you want to push, but you want to be right behind the objection. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like you're just slowly moving up, and if you start to get, if it starts to get a little too hot, it's bubbling too much, you pull back a little bit.
Okay.
You don't want to overstep and then ruin it.
Okay, and so here's the other thing. You also have to how should I put it? You have to introduce that I'm not just talking to you as a friend. I'm attracted to you. I'm attracted by you. And this is what my intention is. The intention is not necessarily, I want to smash, right? The intention should be, I want to get to know you to see if we fit, that this is something that could happen mutually, right? And
right.
One of the things about laying the 5 bricks is laying the 5 bricks simply by doing it. I mean, if you do the math on this, 5 a day every day for a minimum of 8 weeks, right? But what we're talking about, I believe, is 35. It's 35 women a week. I know pimps that don't talk to 35 women a week, and that's how they make their living. So it's 35 a week. 8 weeks is 285 women. You may not have spoke to 285 women in the 10 years that you've been alive. Actually spoke to strange women, 285 women. So my point is that this repetition is what makes it comfortable for you. So to answer your question, when you introduce yourself, you should initiate the touch immediately. You should shake her hand. You shake her hand if it's, oh, good to meet you, and it's a friend of a friend or somebody that's at a party. Great to meet you. You can put one arm around and give a hug. But you're initialing what you would consider non-sexual touching. Make sense? Right. And this is real quick. I teach all of this stuff on the one-on-one consultations. I can tell you this, but there's a nuance to it that there's a whole lot of stuff behind this in terms of in your head that sabotages those things in the first place. Insecurities and stuff. But I can give you the mechanics. It's just, ultimately, if you get a chance, or you can scrape the dough up, get a consultation, and I'll give you the details. But you should be instituting non-sexual touch from the beginning. Another thing that I would do is when I talk, I would touch. So where are you from? You're on the arm. Oh, so where you from? Oh, you're from.
I'm originally from Minnesota.
No,
I'm in Wisconsin
I wasn't
right now.
asking
you.
you.
I'm white from Minnesota.
I wasn't asking you. I was doing. This was what I was doing was acting out. So.
Oh, sorry.
There's a grab. There's a grab. So where you from? Oh, and then as soon as you. So you got to understand. And here's the method to the madness, right? I don't care if you're a straight man, right? If somebody strapped you to a table, right, and 4 gay guys oiled up and start jacking you, right, eventually, just through the physicality of it, your dick's gonna get hard. Doesn't necessarily mean you're gay or you understand what I'm saying? There's a physicality of that. So
are you speaking from experience, Doctor?
Nah, I've never, and I'll tell you honestly, I had a real, I won't say I was a homophobe because I grew up, my godfathers were gay, but it just wasn't my thing. I'm not knocking it. I mean, I've counseled gay dudes, I've counseled lesbians, studs, all of that, but it just wasn't my thing. I just didn't,
right.
Shoot me.
So for the analogy, you're saying basically like you can
right. So there's a mental. What I'm saying is there's a mental turn on, right? Yeah, but there's also a physical turn on, a touch. Just do touch. I mean, if you were in a glory hole and somebody was giving you a hand job and you didn't know who it was, you had a guy with pretty hair, how would you know? Do you understand what I'm saying? But there's also a
Yeah.
mental thing. There's a mental block, but both of those things work hand in hand, and that's an interesting concept because it also is. You know what? Next time I'm going to talk about better sex, because when you have that mind-body connection with somebody, when your intent is evident in your actions, when you're having sex or you're making out of something, a woman can feel that. Women are hyper sensitive and intuitive to what's going on, and they feel things that we don't really feel. Like when we go to a strip club, and if it's ass and titties, we in, right? She look good,
Yeah.
ass and titties.
Any ass and titties.
Right. But when years of, dancing for women, you have to understand that what they consider attraction is totally different. There's a way to communicate masculinity or strength or I mean, it's weird how we're at, I mean, which I don't disagree with. There's this whole, we went through this whole renaissance of consent, right? But while we were going through consent, millions and millions of copies of what was what was the book that everybody where the dude was tying the chick up and beating the crap out of her?
American Psycho?
No. Not American Psycho. There's a book about the guy, the guy who had was in the S&M, and he made this woman a sub. What was it? The brown book or the black book or what the heck was it?
I'm not familiar.
Anybody in the in the comments know what I'm talking about? The book that all women were they did a movie too. Gosh, what was it? Hold on, let me. Yo, Eager Escape, you stop bugging out in otherwise I'm gonna block you if you can't stop the bullshit. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna find. Gosh, what is it? Best-selling book. Women and S&M became a movie. Let me see what it was. Does anybody know in the chat?
Yeah, chat, get out of it.
What is it? 50 Shades of Grey. Yes?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm familiar with that.
Yeah. So while we were while we were taking this whole idea of relooking at consent, millions of women were reading 50 Shades of Grey. So it's right. Thank you, Logan. Thank you. And Carl, thank you. It was 50 Shades of Grey, and so here's a situation when women had this whole mandate about consent and not, and men asking. Meantime, millions of books were being sold about a guy tying a woman up and spanking them and all kinds of shit like that, So, man, I somebody said Black Snake Moan. No, not Black Snake Moan. But yeah, it's there's so here's the thing where women in a situation where people were saying, women were saying one thing, but in their fantasies they were saying something else. When we used to do the podcast and actually do interviews, I had a feminist on who basically said, can you teach men how to choke a feminist? It's like, it's just ridiculous. It's a weird thing. Hold
Are you
on.
kind of getting at like women want someone who's going to be in control, but as long as they're not going to take advantage of it?
Wait,
like
I
you
can't.
said,
I
go
can't
out
hear you. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. Did you change your the phone or not? You're not talking into the phone?
Yeah. Can you hear me all right now?
Yeah, I can hear you okay now. So
Okay.
yeah, there's a situation where you had you have a thing where this was women were saying something but they wanted another. And so what I'm saying is the touch has to be progressive, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You start off with a
I think I know what you're
handshake.
saying.
And so there's something else that I talked about a lot, which was what I call time travel. Is moving. You're out on a date and you're moving a girl to several venues. So what happens? It has the effect of the effect of where the girl feels as though she's known you longer than it feels longer to her than she's known you, if that makes sense.
Right, because you're taking her different places, like kind of like imprinting in your memory in a certain way.
Well,
But
girls will have that thing. Well, I'm only gonna make out with you after the third date or whatever that is, right? So we're in a situation where what you do is you create multiple dates in the same night, and I recommend this when you go out on the first date, that you should have multiple venues that you travel to. And in short times, you're moving from one venue to the other. So say you pick her up and you go for a drink at a bar. Then you go from the bar maybe to dinner at a different place. You have dinner there, you walk, and then you maybe go to another place for dessert. Maybe you go for music. And so you're moving from location to location. It doesn't even have to it doesn't even have to be, it's not like necessarily has to be money. I mean, it could be free stuff that you go to, but it's just what you're doing is you're moving this person, and then every time you go to the new location, what you're doing is you're escalating the touch. So initially you may start off touching with the back of the hand. Hi, so I mean, you were saying such and such and such, then to the front of the hand, then to your arm around her, then maybe to a kiss on the temple, so by the time you're at the second or the third venue, you're making out, and she feels closer to you because you're moving from place to place. Does that make sense?
yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for, Dante.
Yeah, it just now also, if the date is not going well and you try to move and you're time traveling, right? She's gonna go no go and she's gonna go somewhere else. So this way you don't waste your time. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win situation any way you put it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely escalated what I shouldn't have. Like, I thought I would ask girls, "Hey, do you want to talk?" And they just be like, "No." But you live and you learn. And
Yeah.
I definitely agree with the crock pot thing. I think is spot on.
Yeah. And what you have to do is you have to be intentful also about the fact that you're attracted to her. I mean, don't be in a situation where you're acting like you want to be her friend if you don't want to be her friend. She should understand that you are attracted to her. I mean, you sometimes you'll get this situation where all you want to do is have sex with me. And my answer to that was like, I absolutely want to have sex with you. And if that's all you have, but that's all you want, and I go, if that's all you got to give, then that's all I want. But if you got more to give than that, I also want that. I'm trying to get to know you. You cannot be ashamed because you find somebody attractive and you're going out on a date. You gotta put yourself out there to make it clear that this is I'm not trying to be a friend. I'm trying to get to know you. But you can't be so eager. To the same token, you can't be so eager that you've made up your mind about her, because here's the thing, man. The analogy, it's a little vulgar, but the analogy I use is you got this beautiful girl. She's a 30 out of 30, right? She's a 30 for 30, and you take her home, and then she takes the drawers off, and the whole place smells like a fish market. She's no longer a 30 out of 30.
Yeah, she's not 30 out of 30 anymore.
Even if she's a 30 out of 30, and then somehow because you leave mail on the thing, she takes your bill and then does identity theft, and you know what I'm saying? We have to stop thinking that attractiveness is the only measure by which we rate women, or what our preference is. Because yes, initially attractiveness is the primary thing, right? Because we have a physical attraction. But listen, the jury's still out. How many of us have been out with some girl and she was out of her freaking mind? Bipolar, schizophrenic. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that you don't even add into the rating or your preference. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard a guy, what's your type? Oh, tall, big tits, nice ass, long hair. You know what I'm saying? Nobody goes not bipolar. Nobody goes not schizophrenic, not out of her mind, not murderous, not abusive. I've never heard a guy say that as one of the descriptions of somebody that they're talking about,
Well, I'd say, I'm a young dude, but I'm recognizing that in people right now. I don't want those types of qualities in partners, so I'm looking for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. But initially, how attractive the woman is the way we put it. Listen, bro, I gotta let you go. Your phone is acting up again. Let me go, man. But thank you for calling, bro. I hope I helped you out.
Yep. Yeah, you did.
All right, brother.
I'll call back in another time and give an update.
All right, cool. Later.
See you, Dante.
Cash App is up. Phone lines are open. Call and ask me. Yeah, it's a thing. But I think also the attractiveness is the primary thing, because that's the first thing that we see. That's the first thing that we're looking at. But all of that stuff that we don't think about later becomes. What's your name? Where you calling from, bro?
Oh, hello, Dante. My name is Renee. I'm calling from California.
Renan?
Brother, it's a pleasure. Yes, Renee, man. It's a pleasure speaking to you. I'm a longtime fan.
Oh, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for calling. Have you been listening to the lives or no?
I hopped on when I got off of work, and then I was just listening in. So I haven't caught the full first half, but I am listening now.
We're going to be doing it. I didn't go Tuesday and I didn't go Sunday. Because the debate, I was watching the debate and stuff like that. But
right.
We're gonna be pretty consistent with it now. I'm actually contemplating doing 3 days, which would be Sunday, Thursday, and Tuesday. But that'll be up to y'all.
I am subscribed and I listen to all of that, brother. I've been following you a long time, and I've always been wanting to call. But so now that I got you on the line, I wanted to ask a few questions, if I may.
Sure.
Okay, so. Dante, I am a liar.
Okay.
I'm a liar. No, I try to tell the truth as much as possible, and I notice there's this one spot where I just can't tell the truth.
Okay.
So here's the situation. So I have my girl, right, and love her to death. She's my main, but I also have this side piece.
Okay.
Right. The side piece plays her part. I call her the wide receiver. Whenever I throw it to you,
is she aware of your main girl?
She is aware.
Okay.
She plays her part. She plays her part very well.
Okay. And so
right?
your concern is that you're lying to the main girl.
That's right.
Now let me ask you this. First of all, let me give you your props for being honest about the fact that you're a liar. I want to applaud that. It's a hard.
Omission is a lie. You said it, so I'm listening.
It's a hard thing to admit to, and I totally get where it comes from. It's like I even went through my phase of that. I even when we were doing Black Phillip and stuff like that, I was like, Doug, I wouldn't want to hurt somebody's feelings, or I was afraid that I couldn't have what I wanted, or be honest about what I wanted. And it took time for me to understand which is interesting, because the lies you tell is the thing that diminishes your that diminishes your confidence.
Man,
So
I feel that.
it's a
Feel that.
weird
Yeah.
kind of it's a weird kind of cyclical thing where you lie and you lose respect for yourself, and because you lose respect for yourself, your woman loses respect for you, and then you become low self-esteem, and then you lie more, and then it all ends up shit.
Oh
So
yeah, I've had relationships blow up on me just because of a fucking lie. Excuse me, just because of a lie.
okay, and it's
so
never good. It's never good. It's never good for you. It's never good for the people that you're lying to, because then they're betrayed, and they really don't even get a chance to really assess whether the relationship was good enough in the first place, because then the whole relationship becomes about the lie and not about who you were as a person. Does that make sense?
yes, it does.
And so here's my thing. You're the first step is admitting to the fact, right?
Right.
How do you plan on moving forward with this? Because I don't think I have to tell you what you need to do.
Man. Right. You're
How long have
absolutely
you
right,
been with
Dante.
your girl?
Oh, I've been with my girl for a good 3 years now.
Okay, and how old are you?
Me, I'm 37.
Okay, so you're not a young dude, and which one do you like better? You like the
Oh, well, of course I got my main. She's my main
yeah,
for a reason.
yeah,
you
but
know?
not necessarily. She could be the main because she's the one that holds you accountable, and she's the one
Well, true that.
and she could be the one that gives you the hardest time. And if you're accustomed to a toxic home life, a lot of times you'll be with the one that treats you the worst.
That's another point that yes, absolutely.
So my question is, I mean, the reason why you're lying is because you're afraid. You're afraid. Now the question is, are you afraid of not having her? Are you afraid of what the wrath will be if she found out? Or is it a combination of both? Is it all of one? Like, explain to me what that is.
So check this out, Dante. For the longest, ever since I got interested in girls, man, I always wanted two girls. You know, trying to either they know each other or they don't. Having them know each other never worked out for me for whatever reasons. I didn't have the skills, let's say. And so I got this side now, and she's exactly what I needed. You know, when I call you, you show. We going whatever it is we're going to be doing, we're going to do it, right? I even have her hunting for another chick to come to you know, we're looking for a redhead.
So let me ask you something. Do you get any of that from your main?
Oh man, I get a bunch of sex from my main, you know, but
that's not what I'm saying. Do you get that kind of understanding and the acceptance from your main that you get from your side?
Meaning allowing me to be me?
Yeah,
in a sense?
Yeah.
Of course. My chick knew me when she met me. She knew that I was talking to these other girls when she met me, and then she won me over, you know?
So how did you get to the point where you lied about the fact that you were going to be monogamous and you're not monogamous?
Well, the way you said it was omission is a lie.
Right.
So I never admitted nor omitted or never mentioned that I was talking to this other person when I was with my
So
chick.
the assumption is that you're monogamous, or have you had this conversation about that you're monogamous?
Right. So my main believes that we are monogamous.
Now y'all have had that conversation verbally.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. When
so why did you succumb to that and just not say what your true nature was? I mean, I already know you didn't want to lose her, right?
I didn't want to lose. Right. I didn't want to lose her. I had a good thing with this one. And yeah, I was afraid of her wrath when I say, hey, I'm talking to someone else. And I'm afraid of her leaving, because I have a good thing with this one. You
know what I'm going to say?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
The only way that you're allowed, that you can truly be yourself, is that you got to be honest about it. Now, I'm not saying you got to do it today, but you are never going to have the confidence and the self-esteem to actually get what you want until you're honest about who you are. Now, absolutely, how often are we gonna be in a situation where you do that, right? Or are you ever going to be righteous and about what you know, about who and what you are?
I want to be righteous.
Well, then you gotta. I mean, it's not hard to do.
Right.
You just got to be honest about it. You got to come clean. And you
So
and it's also don't wait till you get busted till you come clean, because it's not gonna do you no good when you're in a situation where you where you're going,
you got
like eventually this is gonna blow up in your face. You do know that, right?
I have a feeling it will.
And this woman will lose respect for you if she finds out what it is.
This is true.
You're going to lose her. And then because here's the thing, you don't even know if she wouldn't be down for it. You've never even respected her enough to give you the opportunity, or give her the opportunity to find out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she will. I don't know if she will, but if she won't and you're not being yourself, then the question is, so now you have to live this facade about who you are. And every day that you go to brush your teeth and you look in the mirror, you know you ain't shit. And all that you do, you're going to compensate for what you know you're doing wrong by these other things. And this is a crazy thing about this. This has been so long since, we did. One of the reasons why I say the problem I have with Black Phillip is because things have been crystallized, and the solutions is this. It's a weird thing. You can either practice ACE, right? And have the confidence and the ability to ask for what you want, or you could not, and eventually your self-esteem and everything will eventually fall apart and blow up in your face. And then you can stop, you can start again, find two more and you're going to lie about them and stuff. When what you really want is what you probably want is both of them to come over the same house.
Oh, well, hell yeah.
You want them to hang out. You want them, I'm going with so-and-so shopping. Your birthday party's coming. We want to throw you. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And don't get me wrong. I know that there are guys who say they want that. And then when they get that, they're like, oh, this is too much work. Because it's a lot maintaining two separate relationships simultaneously. It's not easy to do.
Right. I agree.
Everybody who I don't know if everybody who's on the live knows Harry, but he's my partner on the other
for Harry.
Right, Harry, and so Harry had got up to 5 chicks, and he was on his way. He was on his way to what was he doing? He was on his way to like Connecticut or something, exhausted. Right. And he was like, man, I'm tired, because I said, look, if you have 5 women, right, you bought it, you broke it, you bought it. So this means when she wants to get hit off, you got to travel, you got to do it. And then I was like, you understand that you don't have to do this. You can absolutely be in a situation where you don't where you don't have to deal with them. You know what I mean? Like you can have one girl and deal with that. Trust me. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dante, I love my chick, but sometimes I want variety. I want something a little different,
But then that's honest. But that's honest. If somebody's gonna be mad at you because of who you are, then they're not the right person for you. You understand?
I understand.
So you're gonna, it's gonna be a situation where you're gonna deal with this until you can't deal with it, and it's going to blow up in your face. And then when this thing blows up in your face, somebody, if you do love her and she's your main girl, then she's going to be heartbroken. I mean, she could be heartbroken anyway, but at least you could say, listen, I'm not being my true self, and you volunteered it. And then even if she decides, hey, I don't want to, I can't deal with this, then at least you've given her the opportunity. How old is she?
My chick is 35.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's 35. I mean, does she want to get married? She want kids?
We discussed this. No children. You know, we're happy with the way we are right now. You know, we're dating, you could say. I mean, I come over to her place very often and whatnot, but we don't live together. You know, and usually it's like on my days off, I'll fly through to see her, and, you know, and then on my other days, I might go see the other girl. You know,
and you got to understand, she's also like, she doesn't know. So what you're giving her seems to be more than enough already, right? So a lot of times a woman will go, well, I'm happy with this relationship. And then they find out you're somebody else. And they're like, oh, you were giving her something that I want, that she didn't even really want in the first place.
Right.
But well, I'm just saying, it's just, you know, this is going to blow up in your face. You know that, and I know that. And and
I just wanted to hear it from you, Dante. I respect you so much, and man, I've been listening to you for the longest. I called last week, but I couldn't get through because I had some shit pop up. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to hear from your voice, even though you're right. I knew it was gonna blow up in my face, and it will if I don't address it.
Yeah.
And I just needed, I guess, I don't know.
And then she'll not only will she be hurt and devastated by this, but she can put your name and face on her trauma. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to do that, especially if you do care about her.
Right.
Because if you found one that's willing to rock the way you want to rock, you can find another. Right?
Right. That's
you would
true.
never
You
would never think
that's how I have to decide.
You would never think you would never think that you could have this side chick who would know about your girl and not care.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I was dead honest with the sides. I said, listen, this is my main girl. I'm going to be with her all, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. You know, when I call you is when it's our time, it's our time. When it's not, it's not.
Right. And she was like, but then she's able to make a decision about, well, is this something I want to do, or is this not something I want to do?
Right.
And she might even go, oh, well, I'm going to go and date, right? And I've had that happen where girls go date, they get a boyfriend, and then they go, yo, hey, what's up? You know, they call back and, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I had a chick that I was dealing with for a while, and it just, you know, she wanted what she wanted, and I couldn't give it to her, and she went, and she's supposed to be engaged, and she just hit me up a couple of days ago. You know, text me, not with anything, with any intent, but just reminiscing on something
just
that
say, hey, how you doing, Dante?
That we would have laughed about if we were together.
Right.
And I know if I was the fiance, right, who is the basically is for lack of a better term, is the placekeeper for when I come around. You know. Right. Because you wouldn't, if she was immersed into this marriage and this fiance thing and everything, she wouldn't be calling me.
There it is.
Because I'm not calling her. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, and I'm 58, so I got a bunch of old bitches swinging back around. You know, after their
that's what I'm talking about.
You know, after their fucking divorce, and they call me up. I say all the time, it's like, hey, you know, I was I was like, they were like, oh, you know, my daughter, she just graduated from Penn State, and I'm like, yeah, but give me count some pussy. I'm like, yeah, that's great, count some pussy, because that's what this call is about.
Let me get some butt.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And it is just that serious. It's just that because what do I have to lose? Now, I understand you're in a relationship, but man, this is headed for a shitty time. It's going to blow up in your face. And let's be honest, you're not a kid. 37 years
Nah.
old. You're a grown ass man. You know what's going to happen, and you're marching down the street into this head on with this bus. You know?
There you go. Yes,
and
sir.
honestly, sounds to me like the girl who is your main wants you to be a certain way that you're not.
Well, I will say that she man, I love her. She's helped me also grow in my own.
And I'm quite
become
sure
my
you
own.
helped her. She wouldn't love you. Understand something. You don't somebody loving you is not a gift. Let me explain this. It's not a gift.
Okay.
People love you because you're lovable. If you're not lovable, then people don't love you. In life,
Right.
nobody gives you what you don't deserve. Most of the time you get less than what you deserve, right? So
Right.
if I always use the analogy, if I'm 7 foot tall and some woman comes up to me and says, "Oh my God, you're so tall," that's not a compliment. That's the acknowledgement of what is. That's the acknowledgement of what truth is, right? So if somebody says, even if I'm doing comedy and women, "Oh my God, you're so funny," right? And I go, "Thank you," but in my mind, I'm like, "Wow, it's nice to see that you're smart enough to know how good I am at what I do." You know what I mean? I mean, this is something that I've done it for 24 years. 24 years I've been doing comedy. You know,
Right.
and me being good at it. If I'm not good at it after 24 years, then I'm
problem.
I'm learning disabled. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, a woman falls in love with you because you're lovable. You have done the things to elicit that emotion from her. Her loving you is not a gift. It's something that you earn. Try doing something different than what you were doing, and she would have never fell in love with you in the first place. You understand?
Oh yeah, that's real. Yeah, that's real.
Okay? Get your shit together, bro. It's gonna blow up in your face before you know it.
All right, I'm gonna pull the e-brake on that one then.
All right, brother. And if
All
you
right,
need
Dante,
me, man, you know I'm here. DanteNero.com. Click on consult for the one-on-one if you need me to talk you through this so that you can figure out how to word it or what to do or how to deal or even how to deal with it afterwards. Because it's not her fault. You know, it's your nature and it's who you're not. You're just not being true to yourself. Thanks for calling, bro.
Thank you, Dante.
Later.
Thank you. Later.
See if this. Boom.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
What's your name? What's up, brother? What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello? I lost you. Call me back, bro. Call me back. Let me put the number up again. 929-269-4922. The Cash App is up. Please, if y'all like what y'all hear, if you feel like it's helping you, please don't hesitate. Help me out. I gotta buy new computers, new cameras, new stuff. All right, let me get this real quick.
Solano.
What's up, boy?
Yo, what's up, my guy? What's up?
What's going on, Solano? How you doing? Just
I'm
so you
all right,
know,
man.
Solano is one of my students. What's going on, kid? How you been?
Man, I've been keeping my head up, focusing on school, preparing for the future.
Hey, Solano, how long we been talking? How long have you been consulting with me now?
I'm gonna be 23 next month. I started listening to you when I was 18. I had my first consultation with you when I was 19.
Wow, that's crazy. It's that many years, man. And if you can tell the listeners what was your experience, if you can, and then we can go to whatever question you got.
Yeah, for sure. When I started off with Dante, I was down bad. I'm not even gonna lie. It was really bad. It was really bad. I was spending all my time inside. I was afraid of everything. I was afraid to step outside, go outside. I was walking around wearing a hoodie because I was so afraid of people seeing my face, because just illogical fear, and I couldn't even say hi. I
Right.
couldn't go up, say hi, start a conversation, but I knew I had a lot to give. I knew I had personality, and then I went from not being able to say hi to consulting with you, and you told me when I was 19, if I stayed consistent and I stuck to ACE, I laid the 5 bricks.
Yeah.
By the time I'm 21, by the time I'm 20, 21, I'd be a beast. And I'm at a hotel right now just from being polite to the concierge at the desk, the lady.
Yeah.
I was just, chatting up with her. I'm not even. It's just I could tell. Like, she was asking, "What's your name? What's your?" Because I'll go back and forth.
It's funny. What's funny is how you don't need you know the hints. It's so easy, and I mean, let me just say to everybody, I've known Solano for a while, since he was a young dude, and he'd be worried, and like he just, he's young, so he's sowing those oats. He's not ready to be in a relationship, and he's learned to tell them, listen, this is not who I am, this is not what I'm looking for. And he's had chicks who's come and go, and how many of them have come back after they've gone though?
Just about when I don't hit the
When
mark,
you go, yeah, I don't want to do what you want me to do. How often do they come back?
Pretty much all the time.
Uh,
Yeah, pretty much all the time.
All the time. All right, what can I help you with, Selena, while we're here? I'm trying to stay on till 1 hour. I'm gonna do an hour and a half. So hit me real quick. What can I help you with, fam?
So I got this this girl who came back who hit me up, talking about she regretted our friendship ending. When we were talking, she had a boyfriend, and we were cool at the time. Nothing ever happened between us, just because she had a boyfriend.
Right.
But I let her know that after spending a lot of time with her, I developed feelings for her, and she felt like she was being pulled in 2 different directions. So she ended up cutting things off, and now she's coming back saying that she misses me. She wants to be in my life, or she wants me back in her life. And I asked her, she was still dating the same dude. She said she is, but I'm at the point where, I thought about it, and at first I told her, I was like, listen, I don't want a platonic relationship with you. That's just, I think us spending time together, hanging out, I don't think it'd be credible. Or
now, wait, let me ask you this. So she just wants to be your friend platonically?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. What do you want?
I thought about it. I don't really, because I told her, I was like, I'm figuring out what you bring back into my life. I'm figuring out what value you bring to my life.
Yeah.
And, I told her, listen, I understand you have a boyfriend. I'm not really, and I'm not trying to get with her. I don't really care at this point. I'm at the point where it doesn't matter to me.
Right.
But I'm just thinking.
Well, here's
here's
the question. Do you have time to just hang out with some chick? I mean, you since you grew up with me, you are a hound. You know what I mean? You are a pussy hound. So, like, do you really have time to go and get ice cream with some chick who probably has a crush on you but has a man? She's effing this dude, but she's hanging out with you because clearly he's not fulfilling whatever her intimate needs are. Now, I don't have a problem with you being a friend to somebody that you want to be a friend to, but I do have a problem with somebody, forcing you into a relationship that you don't want to be with, that you don't want to be in. I mean, is she that interesting and that exciting that you wouldn't prefer to spend time with somebody who is who prospectively you could spend time, have fun, eat ice cream, and have sex?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, do you have that kind of time?
I was asking myself that, and I have time, but I can make time. This was like she doesn't bring anything into my life. But yeah, there's the friendship, but I would be giving her
Talk
more
louder,
worth,
Salino.
more
Talk
value.
into the phone and talk louder.
I would be giving her. She would be getting more from me than I would from her.
And are
It
you
would be,
okay
like,
with
she would be
that?
benefiting.
Are you okay with that or not?
Yeah, I would set boundaries. And I'll
Now
set
let
boundaries.
me
It
say
would
this:
be
if you
on a
do this,
consistent.
what's going to end up happening? If you're going in this with the intention on not smashing, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, she's gonna smash you. Because the reason why you got to think about why she wants this friendship. She has a boyfriend, right? And she wants this friendship. Yes, Carl, it is ego, but it's also because he's not giving her something that she's comfortable with. Like he's not fulfilling the intimate part of things, right? And the fact that you're still going to be running and smashing, she'll be like, oh, because inevitably there'll be a situation where you will have made plans with her. You're going to meet somebody else. You're going, I'm going out on this date, blah, 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 blah. And then she's going to feel a certain amount of way. And then she's going to end up climbing on top of you. Especially if the friendship is non-transactional and she did have an attraction to you and she is saying that you give her life value. Eventually this is going to be an end. She's going to want to smash.
Let me ask you this, because she was saying, and I know, like, I'm not really listening too much to what she's saying because I'm not putting too much stock into it, because she's telling me, like, I'm telling her, listen, I'm not trying to be a placeholder for you or fill, like, this empty space for you where your boyfriend isn't around.
But that's what it is. That's what it's going to be. That's what it is. It's going to be, you're going to be the side dude.
What does it mean? She told me, I told her, she was like, how did you feel when I left? I was like, listen, I don't have any, because she thought I hated her. I was like, listen, I don't hate you. There's no malice intent or malice feelings towards you. I moved on with my life. We were close. Then that connection, you severed that connection, and I moved on. I lived my life, and she told me, yeah, it was the opposite for me. And
here's the thing: if you whatever she says, it don't matter. If you maintain Ace with her, right?
Yeah.
And that means when you got something that you want to do that's more important to her, you be like, yo, I'll holler at you. I got something else. And she'd be like, oh, we were supposed to go to the mute. Yeah, well, I met this chick. I'm going. Right. And you got to be that blunt about it. There's no way she's going to be able to, her ego is not going to be able to handle that where she don't eventually cross that line. And to be honest, soon as this relationship with her man goes left, she's going to call you anyway. I mean, you got to think about this. Women are not motivated. Like, the problem is we're motivated to smash up front, right? And women are more motivated for the connection, the intimate connection. I'm not saying that women don't want to just smash sometimes, but you'll see that. I mean, I've had guys on the live where it was like, yo, I smashed the girl, everything was good, and then she ghosted me. Well, it's because she just wanted to smash and move. She wanted to smash and dash. You got to take that too, But if you maintain your framework, you maintain Ace, eventually she's going to smash. She's going to want to cross that line. And if I was her guy, right? Like, is her guy going to be okay with the fact that you're her friend now? And you know what I'm saying? It's just, it gets stupid. It gets stupid.
She keeps saying, I told her, listen, I don't need to know the details because I don't want to know. Like, that's a headache for me. I'm not trying to be that friend that provides constant advice, which is what was going on last time.
Well, that's what it is. She's going to want to talk to you about her problems, and she's going to want to unload on you, and she wants to bend your ear about her relationship, and then eventually
I'll just set that boundary.
You just say, I don't want to talk about it. But what is the point? Like, you got to understand, she wants you to be a friend. You don't want to, even if you don't mind talking about her blowing her dude or whatever. Who wants to hear that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing that, you're doing that for her benefit. I mean, no guy is sitting back. Oh, tell me about when. I mean, unless I guess I shouldn't say that because there's some dudes that are actually into that cuckold thing where it's like, oh, tell me what he did to you, you know. But I mean, Selena, I've known you since you was a kid. That's not who you are. You don't care.
Yeah.
And what you're gonna give her is the minimal scrap time when you ain't got nothing else to do.
Say that again.
And I guarantee she'll be offended if you don't give her the time and the energy that she wants as a friend.
Yeah.
But you're probably gonna hit either way. If not when they break up, or maybe if they get married and then she needs a boost, she needs a booster shot, right? Or if you be friends with her, if you just maintain your ace, your credibility, eventually she'll smash you. You know, either way.
What if I just set that boundary, like when that time comes?
You can always set that boundary. All you gotta do is say no. It's easy to say no, but the question is, do you have that muscle to say no?
Yeah. Okay.
Probably not, Selena. I know you better. So, and so that, I mean, but it's really, what's, and I want to say this to the listeners, man. This is what can happen if you have the guidance from when you're a young dude. You could literally have what you want. I mean, when I first started talking to you, Selena, I said you can have what you want, and I think you dug what I was saying, but I don't think you believed me, right?
No, definitely not.
And then every time something would happen, I'm like, yeah, she'll call you back. And you'll be like, how do you know? I mean, she'd stop following me on this. I'm like, she'll call you back, dog. It's fine. Doggy, thanks for calling in, bro. I appreciate you, all right?
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, bro. Later.
All right. Peace.
Yeah, man, that young dude is a killer. Now he is the dick assassin. and don't get me wrong, where I spent plenty of time screaming on him too when he was being inauthentic or when he was lying or when he wasn't being honest with me. But we've got to a point now where he knows where I'm coming from. I want him to have whatever it is he wants to have when he wants to have it, but he understands also that there's a price that has to be paid to that, and the price that has to be paid is honesty, credibility, and empathy. I mean, it always goes back to the same old principles over and over again, no matter what we think it is. Phone lines are up. The one-on-one consultations, DanteNero.com. You know how to get me. Don't forget the Patreon, please, y'all. Please sign up for the Patreon. If y'all can't do something on the Cash App, or you can do the Patreon. The Patreon is patreon.com/manschool202. Just $9 is the low end of it. It's $9 a month if you support us so that we can keep doing this and I can upgrade the system and upgrade the equipment and live. I'm trying to live doing this, helping people would be nice. So there's that. Also, let me give you there's the Cash App. One more chance. I'm gonna leave the phones open for another few. I'm gonna talk a little shit and then I'm gonna shut this down. So if y'all got a call in now. 929-226. There it is. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm Ken. I'm calling from New York.
What's going on? What's your name?
Ken.
Ken, what up? How can I help you, Ken?
I'm wondering, how long are you going to be splooging off the legacy of Patrice O'Neal?
How long you going to suck my dick? I want to know. You're a clown. Here's what you need to understand. I was older than Patrice. I knew more than him. I was pimping when he wasn't getting laid. And so the fact that you think you understand this is just absurd. Do you have a real question or you just want to be a clown?
Because I just want to be a clown. If you've been doing comics for 24 years, you haven't fucking made it yet.
And what do? You listening to me. You riding my dick, right? Where you at? You riding my dick, right?
New York.
Yeah, you riding my dick, right? You listening to me. Am I on your show?
No.
Yes, so you sucking my dick, right? When you get off the phone, remember that you called up and you're sucking my dick. Okay?
Whatever, faggot. Bye.
Yeah, all right. Clown. And I'm always ready for the smoke. I think that was the dude. I saw y'all in the chat telling him to shut up, whatever, but he's a clown because he's home lonely, wishing that he had a way out. And I feel sorry for a dude like that because you are focused on me when you should be focused on yourself. You should be focused on yourself. You could, here's a dude like that I would help. I would help him get out of the rut. And how about this? Get your money up, clown. Put in for a consultation and I'll still help you because that's the kind of dude I am. Because I wouldn't risk my authenticity, my credibility, or my empathy for anybody. Not for him, not for anybody. No matter how much of a fan you are, that has to be maintained. And if that dude called me up for a consultation today, scrape your little pennies together, whatever you got to do, get a tin can, and beg, borrow, and steal. You call me up and I'll help you. I'll help you feel better by yourself because when you have somebody who's in a situation where they want to, they got time and energy. This guy is so successful. He's got so many chicks and so much going on that he got time to ride my dick about Patrice. Come on. Anyway, shout out to the people in the comments section who's giving him the business. I appreciate it. Thursday night is a bit of trolling. Let me just shout out. Thanks for that. The Tella Patrice story. I can't, man. I'm gonna shut down. I promise I'll do that. I'll do that the next time around. I appreciate you, Logan, and everybody else. It's just, but I am about this. I am about this life. I am about this smoke. I'm trying to save these last 10 knockouts. You're right. Hunter, thanks for that. He says, I found you through Patrice. I don't know why a Patrice fan would insult you at all. I don't know. I've been just holding the legacy for this dude. I love that dude every day. I miss him every day. But I was a pimp, a stripper, and a hustler before I met Patrice, before I started doing comedy. And the reason why we did Black Phillip was because I was that. At a time when Bill Burr, Bobby Kelly, Jim Norton, all of those guys were friends with Patrice, and he wanted me on because they didn't have the pedigree. They didn't have the pedigree to do the show that we did. That has literally become become this iconic thing that has started the whole red pill industry, what we did at that time. And I want to say, I love that dude. I miss him every day. There's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't love that dude and miss him every day. But life happens, man. People die every day. Cameron Voice. Hunter, here's what I'll do. I'll close with this. Who cut the live? No, the live's still on. I didn't cut it yet. This is how we started doing Black Phillip. Patrice called me up and he says, look, Opie and Anthony have got this spot on Saturdays. He's like, you want to come on and do this show with me? I go, absolutely. I go, what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? Patrice said, and I quote, we going to do the same shit we doing right now. We're going to do the same shit we doing now is talk shit. And I was like, well, is there an outline? He's like, nah, I just want you to kick it the way you kick it the way we kick it on the phone every day for hours on end. And that was the birth of the Black Phillip Show. So I appreciate I appreciate y'all's support. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all, man. I'm liking this, man. The people in the live is bigger than it's ever been. So I think Thursday is gonna be a day. I think we're gonna rock with this for a while. So it is what it is, man. Yo, I love y'all, man. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Don't forget to Dante Nero. Let me put everything up real quick. Consultations is, hold on. Here's the Patreon first. Patreon is patreon.com/manschool202. That always helps us support. And the one-on-one consultation is dantenero.com. Click on consult, and if you can, please don't forget to like and subscribe on the YouTube and hit the bell so that every time I go live, y'all know that I'm going live. Man, I love y'all, man. Peace. We out of here.